I want to welcome everyone to Aware, Prepare, Survive. In today's video, we're going to discuss one of the most important aspects of prepping, and that is medical preps. Behind food and water, medical preps is one of the most important aspects of prepping. In a long-term grid-down event or an SHTF event, the access to medical care may be very limited, if not at all. Some of the big natural disasters I've been a part of and had to go into and work in the past, healthcare was a big concern. The ability to be able to get the necessary treatment in order to take care of wounds, sickness, heart attacks, different things like that is very limited, and sometimes it's not. You can't get it at all for several days. So it's important to know how to treat yourself and to have the items on hand to be able to treat yourself and your family. So I'm going to go over a few things today, just some reminders, and maybe give you some ideas on things you need to be storing up on, that you need to have on hand. Now, you need to take this in consideration as well. All these things usually have expiration dates, so you want to monitor those, rotate them out, prep the kind of things you would use anyway, and you want to make sure you rotate those things out. A lot of these things, if not all of these things, will go past the expiration date. That's just a best by date. That's not a expiration date, you might say. But some things you need to really consider when you're going over and preparing a list to get for medical when in your preps is you need to have something that's going to be treating the common cold, flu, something that's going to treat digestive problems such as diarrhea, indigestion, constipation. All these things will show their ugly head in a stressful situation, especially an unsanitary stress situation. I can't stress enough, diarrhea and dehydration is one of the #1 killers in any kind of disaster area. So people are drinking dirty water, unclean water, eating unhealthy, unclean foods. They don't have the ability or the necessary things to keep themselves clean, sanitized. Hand washing becomes an issue. So diarrhea always ends up killing people and seriously injuring people when it comes to a SHTF type situation. So diarrhea is one of the #1 killers in those kind of situations. So you want to keep that in mind. You want to prep accordingly. The ability to treat wounds, whether it be minor or major, you want to have that ability. Things like triple ointment antibiotic, hydrocortisone cream, those type things, peroxide, rubbing alcohol. Another thing, and one of the most important aspects of medical preps, in my opinion, and one of the deadliest killers in recorded history, is people dying from infections. Having antibiotics on hand will probably save your life or another member of your family, your neighborhood, friends. They will save lives in a SHTF situation. You need to have the ability to get antibiotics. Something as common as strep throat can be deadly in that kind of situation where you have no access to medical care and no access to antibiotics, like going to a doctor or to a pharmacy. If those things are not available, you need to have some antibiotics. Now, I've got some things sitting here on this table that are unconventional, and I'm not going to tell you to go out here and purchase these things or take them. I'm not a medical doctor, don't claim to be. But I'm telling you right now, you better have some form of antibiotics in your medical preps, whether it be from a pharmacy or be from Thomas Labs, which makes the antibiotics that are in your pharmacy. Now, I'm not going to tell you to go out here and get amoxicillin, fish amoxicillin from Thomas Labs. You do your own research. Or some ciprofloxacin from Thomas Labs. Or some cephalexin. Or some more cephalexin. There's some whatever. I don't know, it's another antibiotic. I can't pronounce it, sorry. There's another amoxicillin. You need to, if you can, ask your doctor if he can prescribe you some extra antibiotics to have on hand. I do. Most doctors won't. I found a doctor that prescribed me some extra antibiotics. He gave me an extra refill when I had to have them for a medical condition, so I could have those antibiotics on hand. I'm telling you, get you some antibiotics. I'm not telling you to go out here and buy these fish antibiotics, but I'll go ahead and tell you those antibiotics I just showed you, that is a variety of antibiotics. That is not just one type. That is 4 different types of antibiotics that I have on hand, and I only will take these if I'm in a situation that calls for it. I don't take these just because I got a cold or just because I'm sick or need them. I go to the doctor. While you've got access to a doctor, go to a doctor. Get the ones from the pharmacy. Don't take these. But in a bad situation, if that's all you've got, I'd take them in a heartbeat. I've taken them just to see if it would hurt me, and nothing happened. So I'm telling you, Thomas Labs, best place to get them from. That's because they're one of the most sanitary places that make antibiotics for other than humans. And I'll go ahead and tell you, the capsule and the numbers on the capsules are the exact same ones that are on prescription antibiotics. They're the same. I don't know about you, but I don't know too many fish that are walking around taking 500 milligram capsules, in a little fish tank. So they're the same antibiotics. You make up your own mind. You do what you got to do, but get you some antibiotics. That is a #1 priority when it comes to me and my medical preps. You also want to have things like multivitamins. These just happen to be Flintstones for children. You want to have multivitamins because vitamin C and different vitamins are going to be hard to come by in those type situations. Like I said, here's something, Alka-Seltz for cold and flu. You got NyQuil over here, taking care of your eyes, especially if you wear contacts or have eye problems. Things like this will be very important and very valuable. Would be hard to come by. Just things for common aches and pains. Add, acetaminophen and ibuprofen. You want to have those things. Some aspirin. Things to take care of your teeth. Here's some Orajel. You want to have a way to maintain your oral health care. And then this trauma kit right here, this is my SHTF trauma kit, my medical bag that I'm going to show you a little bit about. I'm not going to go into great detail. I'm going to do a totally new video on that. But I've got a dental kit in there. Allergies. A lot of people have allergies. You want to make sure you have allergy medication, something to take care of allergies, especially, like I said, diarrhea, digestive health. You want to make sure that's a big priority when it comes to medical health. If you got children, you want to have age-appropriate medicines on hand. That just happen to be some children's ibuprofen. And like I said, there's some antacids, some more stuff when it has to do with digestive health. All right. I got this trauma bag. It's got about anything that I'm going to need in it. This particular one right here is one I keep at my home. I have one just like it that's at my bug out location, and I have one just like this in my vehicle. You want to create you some type of medical kit like this. But I'll go ahead and tell you, first aid kits like this right here are great. They're wonderful. This is a great first aid kit. I've added just a couple of things to it, but this first aid kit has anything for minor wounds. I have some little small individualized medicine packs in here, Benadryl, itch relief, cortisone, you name it. I have this little kit right here, has pretty much everything that you need to treat minor wounds and little aches and pains. Kit like this, they'll run you anywhere from $20 to $30. So highly suggest you get one. That particular kit right there happened to be from Rebo Tactical. Got it off of Amazon, and I added a few things to it. But this kit right here is one I come up with and done myself. And this kit right here has a lot of things in it. And one of the most important things is some kind of, I have books, and I'm going to do a video on a prepper's library, having medical books to explain how to do certain medical procedures and things like that. Invaluable information. If the grid's down, there's no power, you're going to want things like that. Here, like I said, this is my dental care kit, one part of it. Want to make sure you have things like that. Oral health. A lot of people don't think about oral health. Brushing your teeth, using mouthwash, sterilizing your mouth, dental care. Can you imagine going to the dentist and needing not having a dentist and having somebody take a pair of pliers or something and pull your tooth or do some kind of oral surgery on your mouth without the necessary things to numb it or to, like I said, infection. You get a tooth infection that will kill you in a matter of days if not treated. Trust me. But it's just different things in here. Like here's, you know, first aid burn cream. I'm not gonna go through everything. Another good thing to have is some kind of quick clot, something to help stop major bleeding. Very important. You know, here's some more dental hygiene stuff. Want to make sure you have that. Trust me, dental hygiene is very important. These are sutures. They have the needle in there and the stitches in there to sew up wounds. Steri strips. They're probably just as good or better than stitches. Tourniquets. Here's a SWAT T tourniquet. Very good tourniquet. Need things like that to help stop major bleeding and things like that. I'm not going to pull out all this stuff, guys. I'm going to do a video on it. I just want to tell you another thing. Being able to treat an eye wound. Very important. You want to have things like that. There's an eye dressing packet. I got an eye trauma kit in here somewhere, and that'll be on that future video. But being able to treat an eye wound. I just had eye surgery, and I had major complications. Could you imagine having to have that type of surgery and being an SHTF situation where there is no eye doctor to go to? What are you going to do? What are you going to do if your tooth's infected and your jaw's swollen like a baseball? That kind of infection in your mouth and your jaw affects your heart directly, and it affects your brain. It can kill you. And what are you going to do? Do you know how to treat it? Do you know how to get rid of that infection? Do you know how to pull that tooth? Do you know how to work on teeth to put a temporary filling in or something like that? I mean, what do you know when it comes to things like that? These are things you need to research and you need to study up on. There's plenty of books out there. So one of the, probably my next 2 videos, if not in the next 5, is going to be on this trauma kit and a prepper's library. You need to have that type of information on hand. Your cell phone, YouTube, and it's not going to be there if the power grid's down or there's no internet. So you need to have materials that printed off in print that you can read if you don't already have that knowledge. I wished I had more time. YouTube only lets me upload 15-minute videos, but this is just a quick reminder. Get your medical preps up to par. They can save your life. We'll talk to you next time.